Welcome back to the Nuzlocke, my send-off and love letter to vanilla Pokemon games where we basically play a generation lock where the surviving members of a team go to the next game as level 5 babes, but we do every single game back to back, and we can't repeat Pokemon. We also can only use one healing item per important battle, like a gym leader. Playlist on my channel and in the description if you want to catch up, but if not, that's cool too. You can jump in at any point. You may just be a little lost on some inside jokes. Anyways, let's get right into Saga 3, Leg 12 in the final Gen 3 game. Hope you enjoy. We skip the early game and make our way to Oldale, where we can pick up our squad who survived the last game. Jade the 2nd, Evil Rigby the 3rd, Cook the 4th, Takeru the 4th, Ronaldo the 8th, and Slicer X the 11th. I, for one, am excited to finally get out of Gen 3 and move on to the finer things in life. We find these two cool new moves on Porygon, Conversion and Conversion 2, which, surprisingly, the first one is more useful and we utilize it to take down Maze Torchic. After catching a Zigzagoon on the first route, I realized the route above Oldale is completely empty, meaning I had captured and or used every encounter on this route. This probably isn't the only time this has happened in Nuzlocke so far, but it's definitely the first time I've noticed it. We catch Nick Franco the C-Dot, which, in case you didn't know, is a reference to the first ever Nuzlocke, where the creator made a webcomic where his Nuzleaf looked like Nick Franco. May this C-Dot be a good omen for our run. We make our way to Petalburg, Wally catches Freddy Fazbear, then we enter Petalburg Woods. Out of the 2 remaining Pokemon available in these woods for us to catch, we get the far worse one and name it Fake Butter. We destroy Team Magma Grunt, catch a Whismur named Screech, and with our team of 6, we confidently head in to challenge the first gym leader. We sweep with Water Gun. Excellent. We stop a kidnapping, and with our 2-headed ostrich, we head on to fight the second gym. But first, we use our used encounters as an opportunity to traverse deeper into Granite Cave and get our first desired encounter of the leg, Aron the Aaron. We replace Evil Rigby with Fake Butter and evolve it into Beautyfly. Since we needed a reliable strategy for Bully's fighting types, Fake Butter was perfect because when else would we honestly need to use a Beautyfly? And if anything, using this encounter now would free up better ones later. We face off against Brawly, who leads with Machop, but since it wastes its turn on a bulk up, we KO it in 2 gusts. We use Stun Spore on Makuhita, who also bulks up, but we just spam Gust and take it out no problem. We head to Slateport, catch a Gulpin named Innuendo, and begin our first training arc. We needed to be prepared, because although Watson would be a breeze, the gym leaders have a pretty big difficulty spike afterwards, and I wanted to try and get through this leg deathless and start strong into the Sinnoh region. We evolve Evil Rigby and Ronaldo, then on our way to Watson we were blocked by May. Remembering what she had done to my Pichu all that time ago, I charge into battle with my team. I lead with Evil Rigby, everyone's favorite 3-legged Mightyena. We use Sand Attack, dodge an attack, and set up Howl. It lands Water Gun and we get crit out. However, I take the risk, land another bite, and get a flinch. Knowing she's gonna heal here, we do the same. But, instead Wilmer used Splash? So we secure the KO. We do a double Intimidate and switch on Combuskin for 2 attack drops. However, the issue isn't Combuskin's attack, as it had used Focus Energy, meaning it was just ready to crit out our team. We get almost all of our health taken out by a single crit Ember, so we switch to Cook and try to get some super effective damage. Luckily though, Ronaldo seemed to take it out no problem with a couple of mud shots. Then Takeru stepped in for Shroomish. We say our goodbyes to May, and we head to Watson. We thank him for always reliably giving us an easy badge, and then sweep him with Mudshot one last time. We take our team sightseeing through Meteor Falls as a treat for all the success we had been going through, and accidentally walked into a gang shootout. We were about to go face Flannery, but something about that struck me the wrong way. Who do these hooligans think they are? I'm trying to take a peaceful walk with my Pokemon, then bam, walking into gang-on-gang violence. Well, no more! I head up onto the top of Mount Chimney and had a word with their mob boss Maxie, and he didn't like what I had to say, so he challenged me to a battle. We double Sand Attack into Mightyena and then switch to Takeru and try to take it down with Embers. After missing and trading some blows, we switch back to Evil Rigby, and after some hell spamming of bites and heals, we finally take it down with Cook's Tri-Attack. Golbat's out next, and we get it to a Sliver, but also within Golbat's kill range, so we switch to Slicer X, thinking we can secure KO, but Golbat heals. We then switch into Takeru for an attack drop, and get hit, but we go for an Ember. We get hit again, do some decent damage, and another wing attack comes out, critting us, and killing Takeru the 4th. Ronaldo, seeing this, comes out and easily handles the rest of Maxie's team. But the damage was done. Takeru was gone. I knew he would eventually fall, as Guts users and anime references don't tend to survive here on Nuzlocke, but I felt it was all too soon. Our prized Intimidate user, an answer to lack of fire types in Gen 4, was gone. We laid Takeru to rest and tried to strategize for Flannery. Good dog, Takeru. Good dog. Needing a new fire type, we head out and catch Lemon the Numel. We make our way through the YMCA sauna, and remembering my lessons self-taught from older legs, I take a deep breath, chill out, and face off against Flannery for the 4th badge. Ronaldo versus Slugma is the matchup, and we set up with Amnesia versus Sunny Day. We Oko both Slugmas with a mud shot, and Ace Torkoal comes out. We do about a third of health with mud shot, but then get paralyzed by body slam, stopping our easy sweep to victory. Torkoal takes the disrespect even further by crit body slamming Ronaldo until kill range. We get it low with another mud shot and decide to switch into Lemon. And in a perfect stroke of skill, we totally predict Torkoal using Attract, meaning we were able to disregard it with Numel's ability Oblivious and get a safe switch in. We use Magnitude and shell shock this failed ninja back into its ball for our 4th badge. Lemon had already showed it being a useful member in its weakened state, but I didn't want to add it to the team just yet, as if we lost Numel, then what? We'd have no fire types for next leg. So I store it in the box and choose a Pokemon who will help us through the main game, but will not be on our Elite Four team. And that's when we added Innuendo the Gulpin, who we evolved into Swalot and learned had a pretty solid moveset. With that, we head back to Petalburg and start making it past the mini Elite Four to our father. Things were going pretty smoothly, until we encountered this chick with a Zangoose. I think you can already see where this is going. It X attacks our Intimidate drop, so we Sand Attack. Get a second one off, only for it to Swords Dance. Then it Swords Dances again. We switch to Jade, dodge an attack, and try to KO with Conversion, and end up getting one-shot by Slash. We almost also lose Evil Rigby before, guess who? Ronaldo saves the day. Huh. Not an anime character. Not a Guts user. Maybe I'm just bad. I was disheartened by Jade's death. I've always had a strange fondness for Porygon, especially because nobody ever seems to use it. I was also excited at the idea to bring a Pokemon with a new Gen 4 evolution over, but that wouldn't be happening anymore. We lay Jade to rest, and with no other useful encounters we could find after scouring the wiki, we add Fake Butter the Beautyfly back to the team. We evolve Cook just in time, and face off against our dad. He had been the cause of multiple deaths now in Nuzlocke, by his hands or his little henchmen. It was time we showed him who's boss. We intimidate Slacking, then get 2 sand attacks as it lands a facade and starts loafing around. We get a 3rd sand attack in and decide to switch. Yawns on Ronaldo, so we use Mud Shot twice to drop speed and fall asleep. We then decide to wait out to sleep due to Ronaldo's bulk. I think you're right, like that Ronaldo just tanks. Like, I can just survive the sleep turns unless this is a lot of damage. Yeah, no, it really didn't. As long as I don't get like 5 sleep turns, I'm good. Okay, I'm on 3. Okay, I'm on 4. Whatever. It's fine. And he yawned me again. Okay. After a few more mud shots, we finally take down the first of Norman's Pokemon. Ronaldo chips away, and Cook steps in and finally KOs this monkey with a couple tri-attacks. Vigoroth is out. We tri-attack, survive a slash, and KO next turn. Slacking, but even more powerful, comes out and makes me want to turn off my monitor, never to return. However, we persevere. Cook is pretty low, and I'm worried another attack would KO, so I send out Fake Butter to take the shot. We heal Cook and decide what we were going to do on Loaf turn. But since Slacking is way faster than this butterfly, all that's left for Fake Butter is to watch the sunrise on a grateful universe. Hey, yo, the pizza here. We send out Cook and spam Tri-Attack. Slacking starts to use Slack Off in fear. We land a burn, but thankfully that halves its attack anyway since it doesn't have guts. And we continue to spam Tri-Attack until we run out of Tri-Attack. In this dire situation, there's only one thing we could do. Use Fury Attack and hope for a KO. Come on. Critical hit, that's all we need. We KO now. Oh, buddy. Me with no PP. Oh, wow, it worked. We gain our 5th badge and say goodbye to Beautyfly. 3 deaths, and we were only about halfway done with the leg. Not what I was expecting, but hey, gotta make the clicks happen somehow. We add Innuendo back to the team and accidentally run into a trainer we skipped from the beginning of our journey. After passing through Fortree and heading to Mount Chimney to pick up Duskull, we head to Lily Cove, grab some TMs to complete Innuendo's Toxic Stall moveset, and then head to Mauville to pick up some TMs through totally legit means. We add AA Ron to the team in place of Slicer X for this battle, and after some training evolve Lemon as well as AA Ron and face off against Winona with surprisingly our most balanced team yet. The battle begins and Swellow uses Aerial Ace on our Lairon, so we Iron Defense, and then miss multiple Iron Tails as it uses Double Team and Quick Attack, ever so slowly chipping us as we miss every attack. After finally getting this piece of shit bird on red, it switches out for Pelipper. So we get it to yellow with Ronaldo's Ice Beam and then finish it with Cook's Tri-Attack. Swallow's back out and it heals up, only to be brought down again by Tri-Attack. However, it uses Endeavor, getting our Dodrio extremely low and forcing a switch from Winona's Skarmory into Lemon, who melts it midair for the Oko. Altaria is out, and predicting a 4x power Earthquake, we switch to Ronaldo, who also has to tank a powerful Dragon Breath, with our Ice Beam not even KOing. Next, we heal, since we knew Altaria would heal and try again, but this time we get paralyzed. Luckily, we still land the attack. We pull through one more time and Ronaldo secures us the 6th badge. We were on a roll, and although Team Magma was doing their terraforming the world type shit, I chose not to intervene, because look where it got me, a dead dog. So this time around, I chose peace. And we moved on to the 7th badge. For this battle Slicer X replacement, we had Mortis the Duskull and evolve it into Dusclops. Now this gal, she was our ticket, because not only is Dusclops a tank, that's gonna be cool, right? Right? After doing this dog shit again, we evolve Aaron into their final form. The beastly menace that is Aggron. We started off the battle and led Mortis and Evil Rigby. We used Bite on Solrock and it set Sunny Day. Lunatone did about half health on Mortis with Psychic and we land Confuse Ray on Lunatone. We switch Mortis for Aggron and get Solrock to a Sliver with Bite. Lunatone hits itself and Solrock hits a Nothing Burger Psychic on Aggron. Solrock heals and we go for another bite, but as soon as it lands, Evil Rigby gets put to sleep. But Aaron finishes the job with a Metal Claw. Although Rigby's asleep, it's a 2v1 and Lunatone sets up a Calm Mind to brace, as Metal Claw almost one-shots. It heals to full, but Evil Rigby wakes up and the two of them gang on Lunatone for the KO, winning us badge 7. However, things were amiss. The sun was getting bright and the water was weirdly warm. It seems Team Magma was following up on their plans, and I was gonna ignore it. After all, one more badge and we were off to the league. But if I left, maybe there would be someone else out there with a Growlithe of their own being affected by this. So I tracked them down, found their sub, and made it to Groudon, but I was too late. Maxie was awakening Groudon. I tried to stop it, but he intervened. His Mighty and his Intimidate nerfed our EQs. That, along with his healing, gave it the leverage needed to land Swagger on us and get us low. We switched to our own Mighty and KO with Strength. The problem with this fight is it was made much harder, as although Slicer X was in the box, so was Aaron and Mortis. I was in such a rush to get here, I forgot to make sure my team was square. So Evil Rigby was in place of Mortis. And Aggron? Well, we needed a Pokemon that could dive. Evil Rigby pushes through an Air Cutter and uses Strength, but we get confused and hurt ourselves. We try to pivot to Innuendo for a Yawn, but the stats were not statting, so it's back to Evil Rigby for Attack Drop. We then go to Lemon, who tanks Wing Attack, gets confused, and lands Rock Slide, but Crobat persists. It heals. We snap out of confusion and KO. It's Camerupt versus Camerupt. And what do? I throw. I throw, of course. I know I've already taken damage. I know their Fire Camel is simply faster. And I know we are 4 times weak to ground moves. So what do? Guess. Maxie had claimed yet another one of my fire types. We get an attack drop with Rigby and KO with Ronaldo. However, it was far too late. With my Camerupt dead and my team weakened, there was nothing I could do. Maxie had bought enough time stalling me for Groudon to fully awaken before I could quell it with my team's power. It erupted through the cavern's roof and disappeared. I went outside and the Hoenn region was starting to bake. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. That's what was going through my head. But there was no time for that. There would be no Nuzlocke if there was no world to stand on, so I traveled deep into the Cave of Origin where I found Groudon residing. My plan was to capture it. However, I forgot to get a Master Ball, but after almost losing both Ronaldo and Cook from just a couple of its powerful attacks, I knew I stood no chance at fighting either. So, I ran. I don't know how this worked. Maybe Groudon just wanted to move its resting place, and me leaving allowed it to sleep. Maybe it just wanted to prove itself a worthy adversary, and that deities should not be trifled with. I don't know what was going through that beast's head when I ran, but whatever it was seemed to turn out in our favor. The weather went away, and so did Groudon. I left the cave to everyone's shock that I had not only come out alive and victorious in saving the world, but without capturing it or even knocking it out. Maybe the lesson of this Nuzlocke is you can't control what others do and what happens around you, but you can control your own actions. And that maybe violence isn't always the answer. So we set up our team and fought Wallace. After setting Lemon to rest, we stored Slicer X and Evil Rigby in the box to bring out Aaron, Innuendo, and Jolteon. the Manectric, since we really needed access to a good electric type and plus a Linminen were unavailable. We one-shot Wallace's first Pokemon, Love-Disc, with a single Thunderbolt. We predict a Whiscash EQ and switch to Cook, and then to Ronaldo predicting a Water-type attack. However, the prediction fails as it uses Amnesia. After trading EQs, Whiscash sets up Rain. However, we couldn't really utilize the Rain, more on that later, because this tanky squishy Whiscash was healing and tanking our attacks. With Ronaldo getting low, we switched to Cook, getting hit with an unexpected Water Pulse and KOing with Tri-Attack. Celio's out next, so we switched to Jolteon, tanking Aurora Beam and Oko with Thunderbolt. We Thunderbolt again, getting Seaking low, who sets up a Rain Dance on its only turn. This is huge because we taught Manectric Thunder just for this purpose. Seaking heals, but the damage has been done as we Oko Seaking with Thunder. Milotic comes out and we hit a guaranteed Connect Thunder, which doesn't KO, and Milotic strikes back with Water Pulse. But Jolteon clings onto life, landing a final Thunder, winning us the battle. While making our way to the league, I decided to keep Jolteon in exchange for Mortis, since I wanted to make sure we kept Mortis alive until the league. And I'm glad we did that, because a random trainer's Dodrio in Victory Road one-shot her with a crit Tri-Attack. Jolteon, thank you for your service. Wally pulls up on us, but I don't know, like, the battle was okay. It was kind of mid because there was just no build-up to this moment. Bro just pulled up with a cracked team out of nowhere and then just gets clapped by us. I don't know, it's been years since I've played, but I think Oras fixes both May and Wally as rivals. Anyway, after we clap his team, we start making the hard choices. Who's coming to Sinnoh, and who's staying behind for good. We knew Evil Rigby would be staying behind in exchange for Mortis. But what about Innuendo? Toxic Stall is great and all, but you're a poison type? Regen 6? With those stats? No thank you. However, Toxic Stall was seeming even more valuable due to this next issue. We didn't have reliable coverage. We in fact only had coverage for Drake, maybe Steven, which is great and all, being able to handle the final hardest battles, but it means absolutely nothing if we can't even get there. I mean, we had a ghost type for Phoebe, but if your answer to the ghost type user in a Nuzlocke is to use another ghost type, you're either cracked or trash. And to be quite honest, after Lemon's death, I wasn't going to go ahead and assume the former. So after scouring the wiki for possible encounters left in the game, we had about 2 good options, both being in the Safari Zone, Heracross and Pinsir. Our only access to good fighting and bug types. Issue is though, after comparing the chances of us actually getting them as opposed to the other fresh encounters in those same areas, the safer bet was to go for the worst of the 2 options, Pinsir. And this is how that went. If we find a Rhyhorn, that guarantees us we're in the right thing. But if we find something else... Oh, chat, we found it. Oh my god, so fast too. The 5% Pinsir. Oh my god. Oh wait, but that's not... Oh my god, wait a minute. Shit. We don't have Pokeblocks. We don't have nothing. Oh my god, we just gotta get lucky. Oh my god, no way. Come on, bro. We need you. We need you for this. We need you. We need you. We need you. We need you. No. So now what? Well, after looking through the box, I discovered maybe you can have your alchemy and eat it too. Whismur. It's Whismur. No long spiel about how Whismur is this hidden gem. It really isn't. It's underrated for sure. Overlooked, yeah, but hidden gem? He learns Brick Break through TM and has an immunity to Phoebe, allowing us to pivot between him and Cook. And also learns Toxic, Protect, and Rest. Perfect. Let's go. Here's the team. Screech. With Soundproof, Chesto Berry, Toxic, Brick Break, Protect, and Rest. Ron, Rockhead. Personberry, Iron Defense, Metal Claw, Earthquake, Protect. Mortis. Pressure. With the Citrus Berry, Shadow Ball, Shadow Punch, Confuse Ray, and Will-O-Wisp. Cook the 4th. Early Bird. Lax Incense, Return, Drill Peck, Protect, and Double Team. Ronaldo the 8th. Water Absorb, Soft Sand, Amnesia, Surf, Ice Beam, Earthquake. Our starter, our ace, the GOAT. Slicer X the 11th. Battle Armor. Sea Incense. Metal Sound, Surf, Ice Beam, Mudshot. Spitbars King. I'm like rapping that shit. It's my own poker rap. We, of course, first say our final goodbyes to Evil Rigby, the first Pokemon to be left behind alive after making it to another leg. I'll let you draw your own conclusions about what that means about this poor pooch. Oh, also, bye Innuendo. We face off against Sydney, the Dark-type wielder, and... Oh. Evil Rigby? Hey, long time no see. Yeah, it looks like Evil Rigby immediately betrayed us after we left it behind. It's like they always said, you can take the Rigby out of evil, but you can't take the evil out of Rigby. Aaron sends out a nerfed Earthquake, and after getting sand in the eyes, we get a special defense drop-off crunch and miss our next attack. We miss a second time in a row, and unfortunately we have to switch. Ronaldo hits the field, and after taking 2 crunches in a row, shows Aaron how Earthquake is done. Cack turns out, and Cook takes it with a single drill peck. We're nervous about Sharpedo, so we use Protect to gauge its behaviors, and we see it led with Swagger to try and take a risk and heal on a water attack, but we get swaggered. Of course, not wanting to risk hitting ourselves, we switch to Screech and immediately get hit with Surf. Both us and Sharpedo miss our attacks. Then Sharpedo hits Surf, nearly killing Screech. But Screech pulls through and Toxics then protects. We switch to Ronaldo, thankfully getting the Surf heal this time, and we use this opportunity to heal Screech since I really needed a good answer to Swords Dance Absol. We get swaggered and then switch to Cook, who is brought to half from a single strike. We go for Drill Peck as it heals, getting lower due to Rough Skin, but bringing Sharpedo to yellow and Toxic bringing it to red. We repeat the process on next heal and then KO next turn. We switch to Screech on Absol Swords Dance and use Brick Break. We get hit with huge damage, it heals off a berry, we protect on Aerial Ace, and I'm left wondering why I didn't just go for Toxic. We switch to Mortis and tank an attack, but even though her defenses are high, her HP is not. So we take some hefty damage regardless. We get brought to red next turn and miss Will-O-Wisp. It's over. But wait, a Citrus Berry! We survive next turn on 2 HP and land a Will-O-Wisp. Being low on options for a switch, I make a very dire play by switching into our Kabuto. We surprisingly tank the attack well, and we decide to go for the attack. We tank a Slash and KO with Surf. Man, you know shit is dire when pre-evolved Slicer X has to clutch up. We switch to Cook for the final Pokemon, Shift Tree, and we both set up 2 double teams. I go for the Drill Peck, Connect, and Oko, winning us the first of the 5 battles. We face off against Phoebe and go for a double team to dodge Confuse Ray. However, somehow with 2 double teams and a Lax Incense, Dusclops lands Confuse Ray, but we pull through anyway, doing about half. Dusclops uses Future Sight and we hit ourselves next turn. To save some time, I'll just speed things up. It was basically Future Sight failing because I assumed my evasion was too high, and them heal spamming while we Drill Peck it to KO. Next up is Dusclops 2, Earthquake and Ice Beam edition. So we switch to Ronaldo, who gets cucked by Confuse Ray and Shadow Ball dropping our stats, so we have to switch fast to Screech, who tanks an Ice Beam and lands Toxic, but gets confused and then beat up by Dusclops, so we fail to protect. We finally snap out and start stalling. We use Rest Chesto Berry strats to heal back up, and after one more protect, we KO. Banette's out to spite us as we miss Toxic. We land next turn, but get burned, so we just use Protect and Rest to stall it out. Stabilize built different though and attracts us, so we can't Toxic, but Aaron easily handles it with a couple EQs. The last Banette's out and gets us kinda low with Psychic, but we also do huge damage in a single Earthquake. We switch to Screech, take a Psychic, miss our last Toxic, Protect for fun, Rest for a possible switch back in later, and go to Mortis to eat a Psychic and go for Shadow Ball. Unfortunately, Banette's was much faster, but we survive and KO, moving on to Glacia. We start with the W Aggron lead and KO with 2 Metal Claws. We go to Ronaldo, predicting a water move, and crit Oko EQ. But the next Celio had Ronaldo head over heel, so we gotta switch out and switch back. But Blizzard did far more than I had thought, so we go to Mortis, land Confuse Ray, and test out a Shadow Ball. But Mortis isn't exactly good for damage. Thankfully though, we crit and KO next turn. Next, Glalie out, and I believe far too much of my Exploud to KO and do pitiful damage with a Brick Break compared to what Glalie did to me. And we have to switch to Slicer X yet again. We heal Screech and Slicer X has a dangerously close call with death. However, even though Screech was healed, we needed that HP for Walrein. So, not feeling like I had any other choice, I switched into Cook. I'm gonna go Cook. We're in a risky spot, we gotta do risky plays.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Oh my god. I believe in the power of return right now. This is the power of return! It's not even close! Not even close! Cook showed his resolve and allowed us to push to the final opponent of the battle, Walrein. We switch to Screech, who mirrors Cook's resolve by landing Toxic first turn. However, Blizzard gets us to red and freezes us, immediately ending Screech's chance to stall, and with nobody left to switch to, the run seemed over. With quite literally no other choice, we switch to Mortis, who phases through a body slam, giving Walrein another turn of poison. We go for a Confuse Ray, dodge a Blizzard, and Walrein hits herself. We Shadow Ball, get the stat drop, and she eats a berry. Next turn, Glacia uses a full restore. Our Shadow Ball did little damage, even with the stat drop. We dodge another Blizzard, land another Confuse Ray, and then dodge Sheer Cold just to miss Will-O-Wisp. After missing a couple turns and Walrein breaking Confusion, we land Will-O-Wisp, then Confuse Ray. As it continues to, for some reason, not use Surf, we get it low with another Shadow Ball. The next turn, she uses another fucking full restore. After repeating the process, Glacia finally clicks Surf, getting us to 7 HP. I had to take the risk. I knew it outsped, but I couldn't switch to Ronaldo because that would risk Blizzard taking us out. Risk Body Slam paralysis. I went for a Shadow Ball, and Walrein used Surf, and connected, killing Mortis. No more Gen 4 evolutions. No more Porygon. No more Duskull. Look at my team, battered and broken. Send out Ronaldo, and finish the battle. Goodbye, Mortis. You were a good member while it lasted. Although we had just lost one teammate, one stepped up for the cause. We learned Ancient Power and evolved Slicer X. We were back to 5 usable team members. We went off to face Drake, and kinda just whooped him. We used Ancient Power, got a boost immediately, and then from there we swept his entire team with a single Ice Beam each. But it was the battle we needed after losing Mortis. And now we were here, facing the man standing between us and Sinnoh. Steven Stone, the rock and steel and Claydol type master. We enter the room, and filled with determination, we fight. It's Aaron against Skarmory, and we use Iron Defense, and then spam Metal Claw, and Skarmory cycles between moves before switching out to Metagross. However, we have +2 defense and +2 attack thanks to Metal Claw, so we survive an Earthquake and OHKO with one of our own. Armaldo comes out. We switch to Ronaldo, who is injured by spikes, but is healed by Water Pulse immediately. We spam Surf until KO, only taking damage from a slash in the process. Zagron charges for a Solar Beam, but we OHKO with Earthquake. We try our hand with Cook vs Credilli, but Giga Drain plus Ancient Power do huge damage, and Drill Peck was not doing enough to compensate, so we switched to Screech. And after doing some back and forth Brick Breaks and Ancient Powers, we rest, wake up with Chesto, then KO with a couple more Brick Breaks. With 2 Pokemon left, things were looking up for us. Claydol's out, and with it being the last non-steel type on his team, I decided it's now or never to Toxic. We barely survive an EQ, and we Protect and then switch to Cook predicting EQ, and then use Protect to further stall. Predicting Ancient Power, we switch to Slicer X and then Surf until KO. Skarmory is back out on the field, taking its final stand after switching out only to lose his entire team in the process. We spam Ancient Power until we get low, not getting a single boost. We use our 1 healing item on Slicer X, use Metal Sound, and finish off Saga 3 with a Surf. I'm very excited for Saga 4, as Saga 1 was my practice round, seeing what I could do with this series. Saga 2, I expanded on my storytelling, lore, and pacing. Saga 3, I went for a more professionalist side with higher end graphics and more technical aspects. And now, I'm hoping with Saga 4 and beyond, I can bring it all together to make something truly special and unique. Thank you to everyone who has shown their support along the way, and I'll see you in Sinnoh. Bye.